Hi, my name is Mary Spender, and you are watching
Tuesday Talks.
And I'm joined by Phillip McKnight in the Warwick and Framers factory.
The greatest factory in the world. Tuesday Talks.
Okay, I'll do. Yeah.
Right? Is it? Would you say
It's the most impressive thing I've ever seen in my life.
Have you seen a lot of factories?
I've seen all of them now. No, I've seen most of them. I've seen about 20 factories for guitars.
20?
Yeah.
I've seen one before this.
Which is what?
Vigier.
Now, is that a factory or is that a shop?
It's a factory.
So to me,
Or is it?
To me, a factory is...
They call it the factory.
Factory to me is minimum 20 employees
Oh.
and a minimum of 100 guitars a month.
Yeah, maybe not.
Af-
Maybe it's a shop.
Yeah, because to me, it's like, I think of a car factory making a lot of cars. I think of a car shop building custom cars. They're making 3-4 cars a month.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a factory. And so, yeah, I've seen a lot of shops, but I don't consider some of them factories.
Mm-hmm.
I consider like Gibson, Fender, Martin, Taylor, Paul Reed Smith, Giesel, this, Warwick.
Yeah.
Think about this. We toured the factory today. Did you do it?
I'm doing it on Thursday.
Yeah. No, I mean, we did it on our own.
Really?
Yeah, we just ran around. We told they will let you do whatever you want. We could turn on machines and start building guitars if you want to build them. They don't seem to care what we're doing. You can't go in the warehouse. They kicked us out. They said the word 9. I think that means no. And they locked the door behind us.
Right, so no one else could.
Don't go in the warehouse, but we could go everywhere else.
Well, that's just for safety, surely. Because warehouses are like,
I don't know, there's a
they're
lot of
dangerous.
saws here that they're letting
I
us
know.
And the factory is as or if not more impressive than the production. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They are solar. They're off the grid.
I know. And they make such surplus amount of energy.
Yes.
They pay it back to the government.
So, and
That's
they
incredible.
power this factory with solar,
Yeah.
wind, and then take all of the sawdust they get from the guitars,
Yeah.
and they burn that into energy.
How do they have hoovers? Did I hear that?
Yes.
They've got like,
Yes, and then they use even the exhaust of the factory that comes out is re-put into the energy of that exhaust is re-put into the factory.
wow.
So what they do is they exhaust out the hot air, right? And then they filter it back in so it heats the place during the winters. It's the most efficient place I've ever seen. I think they should get out of the guitar business and start teaching people how to build energy efficient factories.
Yeah, they could earn a lot of money consulting in that, definitely.
It's very
impressive. Yeah. We were talking earlier. Well, actually, we met only in person the other day.
Yep.
Because you very kindly invited me on a Google Hangout on your channel.
Yes.
Which I was really stoked about because I've been a fan for a long time. And as my viewers will know, I'm no expert, but you really are. You really know your gear. You can buy the merch.
Yeah, you can buy the
on
merch.
your website.
The tagline, unfortunately, puts you on the spot.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's not meant to be, but sometimes it's a little cocky of a statement. You know, like, hey, you know your stuff.
Yeah, but you do know your stuff. So you ran a guitar shop.
Yeah.
But did you do something before that?
Yep. I built my own basses,
You built your own basses.
and I have a degree in mechanical engineering.
So yeah, I think you are legitimately allowed to say that you know your gear,
Yes.
which is why you,
Well,
why
try.
you built a business doing that.
Would try. Actually, in the fairness of it, it's really this. It's about knowing, learning, continuing. Maybe you relate to this. You know where the saying came from, right? It was the guitar player for Fish, the band Fish. He was being interviewed, and they were talking about his homemade speaker cabinet and his Mesa Boogie amplifier. However you say it in England, Mesa Boogie. Okay. So, they said, what do you like about the cabinet? And he says, oh, I don't know, I've had it forever. He goes, look, I'd rather have a piece of gear that I know how to use than a better piece of gear that I don't know how to use. And then it hit me. I'm like, you know what? He's on to something. I think sometimes we need to make sure we understand what we have.
Absolutely. Because it doesn't make you a better guitarist having a better amp.
No.
It can help in different situations, and obviously once you become a touring professional and that sort of thing, you need to know what is decent and what's going to last and all that stuff. But yeah, it's like people asking me what guitar should they buy. It's like, whatever you can afford right now, and something that will enchant you into picking it up and practicing.
So here, watch, we'll go sideways again. So I got a question for you.
All right.
I believe that a guitar, when you love a guitar, that's in your head. It's not real. It's real to you, but it's not quantifiable. That guitar is not good because it is good. It's good because you think it is good.
Yeah.
Okay. But a bad guitar is a bad guitar. It can hold
Yeah.
you back. So
That's true.
So I like the idea that it's not so important to buy good gear as to make sure to recognize when it's time to move on, that something's holding you back.
Yeah, to graduate
Yeah.
as well.
Because I don't think any piece of gear can make you better, but sometimes it can hold you back.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely. Can you tell me more about you being a bassist?
Yeah.
About your history. Did you learn bass initially, or did you play guitar and then just sort of translate? Like, how did it start?
I started on guitar, and probably within a year and a half, I switched to bass. And then somewhere in my life, for almost 7 years, I didn't play guitar at all, just bass.
Wow.
I didn't even own a guitar, just played bass. And then when I did a YouTube channel, I did a guitar, and then the guitar thing started going, and then I pulled out a bass, and they stopped watching, so I pulled the guitar back out again. So a lot of people know I play bass, and I sometimes do bass videos, and a lot of people ask me to do more, but more people just don't watch them. So you have to you take a hit because it's right. But no, if I was playing a band tonight, or right, like I think I'm jamming tonight, I'll play bass. Like,
Cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do moving around on the guitar efficiently.
I actually, at school, played bass guitar in a jazz band, and that was my only sort of formal education in the guitar world in general. So I was there having to play jazz bass, and I was having to I couldn't read notation because I was self-taught, and I hadn't taken the time, and so I was having to.
So do you read bass, Clef?
I read it
Okay.
because I play piano,
Right.
and I read alto as well because I played viola. I just didn't have the time or the patience to sit down and learn it, and I had to move quite quickly and get to know it, so I just tabbed everything. So I'd get the bass line, and then I'd tab it using Sibelius at school. Yeah, I cheated a lot, but we had so many rehearsals and so many different new pieces of music. I just had to take. I should have really spent that time, instead of tabbing it on Sibelius, just actually learning how to read it.
So you play piano, guitar, viola?
Yeah.
What else?
I sing. I started on violin, but I'm a terrible violinist.
Okay.
So viola, I'm rusty now. Piano, very, very rusty, but I did learn. And then I did classical singing,
Right.
but I've never had a guitar lesson, really.
No guitar lessons.
No.
How do you feel about that?
I wish I had the money now to have a guitar teacher every week and be held accountable, because that's how I work best.
Yes.
When I'm being chased by someone.
So if you take lessons and don't practice, you'll never make it.
Oh, yeah,
But if you
exactly.
practice all the time and you never take lessons, you'll make it. But if you practice and take lessons, yeah, you're
That's
double.
the-
Yeah.
yeah.
You'll,
But that's why, Tyler and Tom, their online lessons,
yeah.
like, it's a genius plan, because it makes it scalable for them. It makes them, they can be in 1,000 places at once on someone's computer screen.
Right.
And that person can affordably have those guitar lessons.
And more importantly, they can do it when they.
And they can take a long time to,
Yeah.
process it, because they can pause it, which I think the internet now, if I'd had that when I was 15, it would have improved. Because I was I was having to print off tabs that were a bit questionable in 2004 and 2005, whereas now, if you think about it, what is available, I sort of wonder what I could have done.
Yeah.
And what I should do now, I should just do it now.
Yeah, why don't you why don't you do it now? You know what though? It is, the internet's amazing, especially for learning music and opportunities. But it adds distractions too. There's,
So many distractions.
one thing I could say when I didn't have the internet was I practiced more.
Yeah.
Because
you were bored as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like, who's bored anymore? No
Yeah.
one's bored.
Boredom taught me a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it was sort of the saving grace of my generation, because I think I was the last generation to be bored.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Because even when I was at university, from 2009 to 2012, smartphones were nothing. They were,
No,
I had
yeah.
a touch screen thing, but internet-wise, people just forget about that. It was actually quite a long time ago now.
So I play bass. You said you kind of play bass sometimes?
Yeah, I like playing bass. I just bought a Fender P bass.
Oh, you did?
Just a Mexican.
Why the P bass?
Because it was secondhand.
Okay, so it was a deal.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
good
Oh
quality,
my God,
it was a deal?
yeah, good quality. It had been set up really nicely. I actually changed the pickups to Seymour Duncan vintage P-bass pickups, which are lovely.
Right. The quarter pounders?
Don't know.
Sure. Let's say.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's say yeah.
Yeah, I know my gear.
So,
But it's black with a tortoiseshell pickguard.
now, do you,
lovely.
when you record, do you do your own bass lines? Do you
For
play bass?
demos, yeah.
Okay.
But I have a bassist and he's fantastic, so I wouldn't be able to. And then I've also got the Little Thunder pickup when I'm playing live, so obviously that's just guitar but with the octave below.
On one of my live QAs that came up to Little Thunder, and if you go to that video, when the question comes up, your video is the highlighted thing to go to it, because I'm like, I don't know, you got to watch Mary
Do you know
Spencer's
what?
video.
That would have boosted it because
Yeah.
it keeps getting a new lease of life.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, you're
That
welcome.
explains a lot. But yeah, we've gone off on a tangent now.
I think that's better.
Yeah, I think it's better too.
I find the more scripted stuff it's more disinterested I am.
Yeah.
I want to see two musicians work out, thoughts in their head. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if it's interesting to talk about how interesting it is.
We'll see. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
And my aim this week is to get you playing bass and get us jamming.
I would love that.
Or maybe
Now,
you could teach me some bass. Teach me some technique.
You know what? I don't think that's a good idea. I think the better you get on bass, the worse you are for a band. You don't want a bass player with too much ambition.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, my bassist could learn a lot from that. But yeah, I will be hanging out with Philip for the rest of this week. But thank you very much for watching this Tuesday Talks. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and comment below. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click up here. If you want to join me over on Patreon and become a VIP, then up here. And if you want to check out my music and merch, you just need to click here. And finally, the latest video will be here.